It's great to be back here, home in Sherwood Shul with all of you. And I thank our Gabbayim for running such a smooth operation, dedication, balancing the interests of the Klal and the Prat, the Yachad and the Tzibor, with warmth. And we wish them the bracha of Kol Oskim Tzarchei Tzibur B'Emunah HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishalem Scharam. One of the benefits of going away, going out of town, see other Jews, other shuls. And where we were, there were Jews from a wide range of backgrounds. Far right, far left, in the middle. And you know me, I'm not a fan of labels. Every Yid's a big tzaddik, as the song says. In fact, I davened one of the minyanim with the Thank You Hashem shul with Mendy Warch, who sings that song. They had Halo and Chalamoid with a guitar in that shul. Stuff we can learn. But labels have developed. A lot of it's due to the political dynamics in Eretz Yisrael, where the different types and different stripes have their different political preferences, and so parties and titles form. And there's this term Charedim, Charedi, which comes from a pasuk in Yeshaya, Shimu Dvar Hashem, HaCharedim El Dvaro. Those who tremble in fear of the word of Hashem. And I think for many of us, the term doesn't sit so well with us. That's who we are. We're trembling in fear. Of course, Yiras Shemayim, Yiras Hashem, is bedrock of our emunah. Reishis Chachma, Yiras Hashem. But there's also serving Hashem me'ava. Avas Hashem. And Ava, it seems, is a higher level than Yira. We all know that a person who does tshuva, who repents, out of Yira, out of fear, the Averos get wiped away. But someone who repents, does tshuva out of Ava, out of love, the Averos turn into Zchuyos, gets credit for them as a mitzvah. Gemara in Saita says that the schar of someone who does mitzvahs from Yira is le'elef dor, 1,000 generations. But for someone who does it me'avas, 2,000. I love him. So it seems that serving Hashem from out of Ava is a higher level than Yira. But we see a deeper insight to this in this week's parsha. Explained to the Or Chaim HaKadosh. There's two psukim in this parsha that seem to be redundant. Right before Shishi, there was one pasuk that says, "V'asisem es chukosai, do my mitzvos, aleches bohem, ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God." And the very following pasuk says, "Ushmartem es chukosai, keep my mitzvos, v'chai bohem, and live by them, ani Hashem, I am Hashem." It seems almost repetitive. What's the difference? Zoktar Heilig Or Chaim. The first pasuk ends off, Ani Hashem Elokeichem. Elokim is the God of justice, of din. It is talking about the fear, the awe that we have from Hashem. And it is referring to someone who's serving Hashem out of fear. And there it says, Va'asisem, you're going to start. Your initiation, your initial adoption of the derech of Torah and mitzvahs of HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes from a yira. You look around, you see the bria, like the Rambam describes in Hilchos Deis. You see the grass, the intricacies of the cell. Go to Yosemite, you're in awe, and you have that awe, the yiras haroimimus of the Creator. But that awe, that fear, only goes so far. It's not. A person can't live off that. It has to give way to Ava. And the next pasuk, Ushmartem es chukosai, not Vasisem, but Ushmartem, what's going to keep you along that path is Ani Hashem, is the Ani Hashem of love. Is where you transition from doing something because of a fear or an awe, but out of a love. You say, wow, look at this amazing world Hashem created, and He put me here. And He gave me my health, and my wife, and my kids. And some people have that, and some people don't. But He gave us such an amazing bracha to be here. This second, this minute is a gift. Thank you, Hashem. That minyan that I was in, that thank you, Hashem minyan. It was different than a typical shul, but it was dripping with Avas Hashem, with Avas Yisrael. It was palpable. That's the second pasuk. And then, says the Acharei, and here's the biggest difference between these two mahalchim, between these two approaches, between these two pasukim. The first approach, the first pasuk, about someone who's serving Hashem miyira, does not say v'chai bohem. Because living in fear is nishkan leben. How can a person live like that? V'chai bohem is only in the tzveita, only in the second pasuk, when someone is filled with the passion and the vigor and the exuberance of the zeh hayom asa Hashem. Thank you, Hashem, for this second, for this breath. That's v'chai bohem. That's a life. He's fully alive. That's a chiyus. But the Acharei goes even further. He says, I have a question. We know the famous rule. Is there reward for mitzvahs in this world? Gemara says, no. Schar mitzvah b'ayalma leka. So I have a question. We say every day in Shema, v'hayim Shema, if you will listen, el mitzvosai, if you keep the mitzvos, what's the very next pasuk? V'nosatim et ha'artzachem. I'm going to give you rain. That's schar b'hayalma. That's a gashmiistic, physical, material reward. I thought there's no reward for mitzvahs in this world. Zak dar Chaim HaKadosh, a big chiddush. He says that when do we have this rule that there's no reward for mitzvahs in this world? That is when someone is doing them machmas yira. He's doing it out of fear. But if someone's doing it out of love, there is reward in this world. What's the first pasuk? V'hayim shemoa tishmuel mitzvosai asher nochem tzavayim le'ahava es Hashem Elokeichem. It's talking about someone who's serving Hashem out of love. Then there is reward, and that is what this pasuk means. V'chai bahem. You will have shefa bracha gashmi schar to give you physical life, physical abundance in this world. If you're Oved Hashem me'ava schar. Incredible insight. And I think the pshat is this. If someone is Oved Me'ira, the pshat is, it's not really what I want to do. I'm afraid, so I'm holding myself back. Or I'm in awe, and so I'm in check. But it's not be'etzem who I am. And so why is Hashem going to give me more things in this world? If that's not really who I am. But if I'm an Oved Me'ava, the pshat is, this is who I am entirely. This is my entire being. Every fiber is enveloped with a love of Hashem and a love of Avas Abrius, Avas Hashem, Avas Yisrael. A love of life. Of the divine that is everywhere in life. And so then our ritzonos are aligned with the ritzonos of Hashem. So Hashem says, I'm going to give you more. Because you're at that point, you're just a conduit of everything what the Creator wants. It's like the Mishnah says in Avos in this week. I say ritzoincha, make your will, make His will yours, so that He will make your will His. You start doing what Hashem wants, and you're doing it because you want to be doing it, not because you're afraid, but because that's what you want. And then Hashem says, of course, I'm going to give you more, to do more of that. More of what your will, which is my will. So our Ikar Avodah has to be to try to graduate from Yira to be Ovedim Hashem Be'avat. We have to live life in 3D with every fiber, singing and dancing and learning. The love and appreciation for the breath and the opportunities that we have. We're living in a time of unprecedented fear. See on the college campuses, Columbia University, there's a banner, it says Intifada, hanging from the wall. I saw a video of a student in LA trying to go to class. These big burly people surround him. Their hands, arms crossed, their faces wrapped. It's fear. It's fear. And it is tempting to think that we should fight back with more fear. And we should be the ones to intimidate them. And there's a role. There's a role for the IDF. To attack and kill the monsters. But that's not our job here. Our job here is where they sow fear. We show that we are the people consumed with Ava. Avas Hashem, Avas Abrius, Avas Yisrael. And they're going to try to foment fear, and we're going to sing, and we're going to dance, and we're going to fabrang, and we're going to learn with all our heart and soul. And that's how we're going to win this. We should all be zocha to see Yeshua, the light, envelop the world from here to Amen.